What's up guys, it's Captain Production 72 and welcome back to another video. For the first time in 2021 we are doing a set review, and coincidentally enough it's a 2021 set. Set 75300 TIE Fighter from the January wave of 2021. So before we begin, why not hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, or even leave a fun comment. Those are all great choices. I love reading those comments and you guys are the best. We are so close to 700 subscribers right now, so please keep going with that. I appreciate it, you guys are the best for doing so. Let's get into the video. So this was a set, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on this one here. So this set, I have some weird feelings towards. When I first heard about it, I was like really excited, like yeah, a TIE Fighter. I don't have a TIE Fighter, I did not have a TIE Fighter, or at least a regular one. I have the TIE Striker and I was really excited. But then, when I heard that it was going to be, downsized, I was like disappointed. And then when I saw the actual pictures of it, I was disappointed. I was not impressed with the way the set was. And I didn't want it. But I found myself in March, after I got my birthday money, in a branch of Sainsbury's, and I ended up buying this along with an Ninjago set. It's weird, I don't know what perplexed me to want to buy this, but I did. And see, now that I've had it, nearly 3 months, I've enjoyed the set quite a bit. And it is decent, there's a few flaws, but a lot of people have pointed the flaws out of this set. I actually have quite a few positives to point out about this set that maybe some people did not consider. So yeah, our first plan of action is take a look at the minifigures. The minifigure choices is okay in this set. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's okay for what it is. Let's get into the minifigures. So in this TIE Fighter, you get 3 minifigures, a TIE Pilot, a protocol droid. It does have a name, I guess I need to read the box, and you get one of those hideous looking Stormtrooper redesigns. Let's take a look at all the minifigures individually on their own. So starting in order of the box, we have the TIE Fighter Pilot. Of course, the TIE Fighter needs a pilot. So this one is actually a pretty good looking one. There's nothing that I can really fault this on in particular. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing that's new about it either. From what I've gathered, I've been looking at another version of the TIE Fighter Pilot I have from 2016's TIE Striker, and I could not find a single difference. It's still a really solid minifigure. One thing I wish they would do with these, that they did with the first order TIE Fighter pilots, is actually make the tubes instead of, printing them on the torso there. Got the usual kind of stuff. He does have a head, which I wish they'd switch to black. If you guys remember back in 2012, 2013, they did these heads, and it was as if they had balaclavas on, and they had a face, but the rest of the head was black. We should do that. We just have kind of like it's not a clone face. I've noticed with Stormtroopers and stuff, they no longer all have the same face. They're switching up, which is good. I'm liking that. Also got the Imperial symbols on the helmet there. It's an okay minifigure. One I don't mind seeing again, and of course it's needed there. Though maybe an extra one of these could be cool. I'm going to get into what other minifigures should have been put or could have been put in the set. Now, on to the next minifigure. So, according to this box, the minifigure is INL8. And it's a pretty cool protocol droid. I do like the fact that, we're seeing one of these again, because we don't really, I think we've had a fair share of Imperial astromechs over the last, 5-6 years, but Imperial protocol droids are very few, and, they don't see a lot of them. I think the only other ones I can think of, I think a version of this did come in the Death Star from 2016, the reissue. And there was like a C-3PO like design of the Death Star droid in the 2008 Death Star. But this is something cool. This is something I'm happy to see. More of it would look good in Imperial base smoke. It's a cool droid. The thing it reminds me of most is, because the same droid, I think it's EZ3, I think. I'm probably getting the name wrong, but it's that droid from Star Wars Rebels that Chopper irritates. Like, the kind of dysfunctional R2-D2 and C-3PO relationship. Let's take a look at this minifigure. So one cool detail is that you see usually only on C-3POs is he looks like he has a restraining bolt there. I'm just going to get the focus. It kind of does. You've got some nice colourful wiring. You got obviously all the kind of standard droid details. Nice head mould. Again with the wires on the back. He is a really cool looking minifigure. And of course, he is one of my favourite. He might be my favourite minifigure in the entire set. Let's go on to that final figure, the Stormtrooper. So this is a minifigure that I feel LEGO has kind of spoiled in the last couple of years, since 2019. These helmets that they put on these Stormtroopers are horrible. I'm not even really going to look at this minifigure because at this point it's been in that many sets, it's kind of standard of ruined the Stormtrooper helmet. The body is okay. I mean, the stud shooter I expect in this kind of set, for the price at least. I mean, it has an unusual price point, which we'll also get into at some point. But I don't know, I have mixed feelings towards the Stormtrooper. It's never been a minifigure I completely liked, this version. Personally, my favourite Stormtrooper is the 2012 version. Yeah, the kind of in-between one. I do like that. But you know, I will show you, because the standard Stormtrooper has that awful helmet, and it has a clone head underneath. Regular Stormtrooper. So yeah, not pleased with this minifigure, although I'm gonna say something in a moment that might shock you. So the thing that might shock you is, I believe they maybe should have included another one. As much as I don't like the design. The price in the UK is £35. That's a rarity. I've noticed a few sets in this wave of Star Wars, at least the January, have some really odd price points that I wasn't expecting. We don't really get odd number price points too often, at least I don't think we do. But yeah, it's like the travel in Tatooene, that was priced differently. Like, that was £28 in the UK. Keep in mind, I do live in the UK, so price is different from here in other countries. But yeah, so other minifigures they could have included, maybe one of those an Imperial astromech to go with that droid. That would have been a cool idea. But anyway, let's get into the set, starting with the features. So the set is very swooshable. I mean, you can move it around quite well. You're not gonna have any issues with it. It's a really solid and well built set. I mean, and it's a lot simpler than some of the old TIE fighters, because the wings come off quite easy. So if you wanted to break it up for a mock, you're not gonna have any problems doing so. Each wing is held in by 3 Technic pins, and that's all that really holds them together. Let's go to the cockpit. So here we are at the front at the cockpit. Now it is decently sized, but one piece of controversy is the top dish on the cockpit. So for many years it faced that way, right? No one cared. And it was like that on the UCS version, but now they've been turning it this way, which just looks awkward to me if I'm being honest, but you know what, it's what goes with Lego. So the cockpit is quite easy. You do have some spring-loaded shooters, which I will launch one, even though I hate them. Set that other one out, if I can get my finger near it. Yeah, so those fire out quite well, as you'd expect. We've had those for 7 years now, so there's not really anything fun about them. I find them to be quite irritating, especially when you're picking up the set, and in my experience, when I tried to dust this particular set, they did come out very, very quickly and was kind of annoying, if I'm being honest. But yeah, the cockpit opens like so, and so you pull this part down and you can pull this part up. You get these 2 little red things here. I'm going to zoom in. You can see these kind of red bits here, and that's kind of where this kind of represents the control. So we're going to take the TIE Fighter pilot. You do have to put him in with his blaster. There is nowhere to put his blaster, unfortunately. They have not really. I mean, you probably could find a place if you're creative enough, without modding the set. Keep in mind, I do not mod mine, so you can fit the TIE Fighter pilot in there perfectly. He does not stick. There's not a thing for him to stick to, at least I don't think there is. I don't know. I've not picked this set up too much lately. No, there's not. I don't play with my sets, really. But yeah, I've never used this one in a mock either, so you can close it up and he fits in there very nicely. That's about the only feature you really get. Let's have a look at the back of the TIE Fighter. So the back of the TIE Fighter is as you'd expect, not too much detail. This TIE Fighter really only has the playable feature of your imagination, as in you can fly it around your bedroom, you can fly it around anywhere with your hand. That's kind of the point of this set. There's not meant to be too much to it, I suppose. But yeah, let's have a look at the wings. I'll show you one of them. But yeah, so the wings have this really nice thing that wraps around the wing. This build that wraps around. There is clips holding it in on top, but these bits at the sides are not held in. Got some okay detailing on the wing, not UCS standard, but not bad, for what it is. We're going to get into prices and stuff like that at the end, by the way, but, it's an okay looking wing. I do like the way they've done that. And, it represents a TIE Fighter very well, though personally, and I think a lot of people will agree, it kind of more so represents that Rebels TIE Fighter than it does anything else. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that. But yeah, very good build quality, like it doesn't break. I've never had it break on me, and I've dropped it once or twice. So let's head on to the next part, which is the instructions. And so here we are with the instruction booklet. So obviously it has that new kind of logo they've been using for a while. We have the TIE Fighter, we have a half-complete Death Star, and we have some explosions and the scan app thing. So, you know, going through just, you know, your standard instruction manual. This one is not willing to open because I've only ever used it once, but you know, show you some of the random things. This instruction manual has a total of, oh, there's an ad for Skywalker Saga, 83 pages, and 81 of those are building, but yeah, you've got the one Lego thing there. So let's move on to the next thing, which will be the box. So unfortunately, in the new reviews, I'm going to be doing them for a long while, I can't have the box at the back of the set due to space where I film, so we're on my bed. So, you know, your box is the same as the instructions, as you can see. You got, you know, ages 8+, 75033 Imperial TIE Fighter. Got the Disney logo, the minifigures, and as you can see the box art. We look on top of the box, we have the TIE Fighter pilot in its real scale. All the stuff in other languages. Got the TIE Fighter at the side, which is cool. It's got a standard bottom on the box, standard side. At the back it shows you the two features this TIE Fighter has, which I'm going to get into that in a minute, because I have another point on that. You know, you can play in the Skywalker Saga, so I'm assuming that's been on a lot of sets lately, so if not all of them, so I'm assuming all these new sets can be in the Skywalker Saga. And as you can see, we're in an Imperial hangar inside the Death Star. So let's get into my final thoughts on this set. So we must conclude this review, but you know what, I was saying about features, and see, when you really think about it, a TIE Fighter doesn't really need much more than what it has. In Star Wars universe, TIE Fighters are small, they don't have hyperdrives, they're just meant to be small one-man, you know, kind of disposable fighters. So that's kind of what I like about it, and that's what makes it even cooler. You know, this set has everything it needs. And I'm going to mention the positives that this one has. I mean, obviously it's not the biggest, it's not the best TIE Fighter. If you want my personal opinion, the coolest play scale TIE Fighter was 2012, 9495, no sorry, 9493 I think the set number is, 9493 or 9492 from 2012 was probably the better version of the TIE Fighter, but you know, this set is actually got a lot of cool stuff about it. It isn't too costly, because a lot of the TIE Fighters have been creeping up in price a lot the last few years, and it was getting beyond ridiculous how much a TIE Fighter was costing. See, this is the only, out of all the many, you know, kind of scale, well not many, but scaled down versions of sets, i.e. this TIE Fighter, the Imperial Shuttle, the X-Wing. I don't recommend the other two, because they don't look as great. This one, you can pass off as being one from Star Wars Rebels, which, that's kind of cool. And you know, at least with the TIE Fighters, Lego doesn't do things like, you know, include small kind of, because I know they did this with a lot of the X-Wings and Y-Wings in recent years. And I think they did it with the A-Wing. They don't include silly weapons racks, you know, any of that stuff. Now, you might like that stuff, some of it is cool, but I don't like when they put that in to bump up the price. And you know, I'm happy that none of that's been included, because that would have annoyed me. £35 in the UK, I think it's $40 US, is actually quite a good set. And you know, you get your money's worth, I would say so. And I'm happy they didn't include any characters, because you know, I'm not saying it's the ultimate army builder, but it'd be cool army building. I'm happy you get more than 2 minifigures, because for the price, I was actually expecting, you know, a TIE pilot in the Stormtrooper, right? Because I knew they'd put a Stormtrooper or something like that in it. But the droid is a nice inclusion. It makes the set that much cooler. So what do I give this set out of 10? I'm giving it 9 out of 10. Why 9 out of 10? Well, you know, maybe that extra minifigure could have been thrown in there. You know, but 9 out of 10. And this is my first 2021 set review. So I do enjoy this set, and it looks cool on the shelf. That's its other advantage, you know. It can fit in small shelves, unlike the other ones are a little bit taller. And it does remind me a lot, in a way, you might or may not understand this, it's kind of hard to explain, but it reminds me of, you know, if you go back to like some of the very first versions of the Lego TIE Fighter, it kind of reminds me of that. Not just in kind of its size, but just something about it reminds me of that. Its imperfect look. Because I'm not saying this one's the best looking TIE Fighter, I'm definitely not saying that, but it is cool and I do like it a lot. And the minifigure selection is okay. So would I recommend this? 100%. It's a cool set if you can find it. And who knows, you might get it for sale. I did pay full price, but it was a set that I was more than willing to do so. Will I buy more? I think I might get another one before it retires. This set's a 2021 set, so I'd imagine by late 2022 it will be gone. So by next year this set will be gone. But anyway, this has been my review, first review of the year, and it's my first one is a 2021 set, so I'm happy. The next set review you guys are getting is next week. Now I'm doing Trouble on Tatooine. After that, I'm doing the 2020 Anakin's Jedi Interceptor review. So yeah, you guys got some fun videos coming. So anyway, I'll see you guys this week in Figure Friday. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.